At Direct Service Garage Doors, we are your one-stop shop for all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the highest-rated local garage door companies in all of Central Arkansas. Our highly trained technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 501-244-3667, or visit our website at directserviceoverhead.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.
All right, welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. You'll have to excuse me. I'm losing my voice. Throat's been closing up all night and this morning, so I'm going to do the best I can. Bear with me. 3, 2, 1. Yo, did not put my beanie on before I went live. Let's grab the old. Here we go. All right. This is why I need to hire a hair and makeup person for these live shows. All right. First off, shout out to Patreon supporters. Again, these shows don't happen without you guys. And, of course, our show sponsors as well, and everybody who comes through and they donate through live chat or a super chat or whatever. But I do appreciate each and every one of you, but especially the Patreon supporters. You guys take that extra step, and it's awesome. We have some more stickers made up. We've got, I think, roughly maybe 10 or 15, half the black ones, half the white ones. So if you guys are interested, let me know, and I'll get those sent out to you. I just need a name and a mailing address, and I'll send them out to the Patreon supporters. If you guys haven't gotten yours yet, please let me know. Also, Direct Service Overhead and Apex Tattoo Studio, the show's two sponsors. Apex Tattoo Studio, located in at 615 West Oak Street in Rogers, Arkansas, 72756. Give them a call today. Get your ink set up. Get an ink job done. Get some work done. Maybe you need a touch-up. They've got you covered. 479-278-2694. Again, that's 479-278-2694. And Direct Service Overhead. Listen, it's about to get cold. I mean, well, okay, I'm sorry. It already is cold. I meant to say it's about to get icy cold on a consistent basis. We're about to have, I think it's going to get really damn cold this winter. So Direct Service Overhead, if you guys are like me and you've got a funky garage door that's not shutting all the way, it's letting all that cold air. That's where I smoke my cigars, you guys. That's where the wife has allowed me to smoke my stogies, is in the garage. So, yeah, I definitely need to get Direct Service Overhead out there and get that worked out, get a new door on, hopefully sooner than later. But they can do that, whether it's a replacement of your garage door or if you just need it fixed. You know, maybe the thing that actually, the pulley system, whatever the hell that's called, the garage door pulley system's messed up. They can help you out with that as well. You can give them a call today at 501-244-3667. All right, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. I've done one of these lives before with like a straight up head cold, so we can battle through it. Smoke my pipe in garage, Ty. That's right. What's going on, Ryan Jones? Let's go, baby. J-Cat is coming back. That's why Slush is gone, says Mr. T-Dub. All right, well, we'll start off right there. What the hell is going on with Myles Slusher? Myles Slusher was reportedly, well, he posted on Instagram. He was in Tulsa last night. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. We got kickoff here in a little bit. Don't know what he's doing not in Missouri, in Missouri. I shouldn't say that. I like everything I like about Missouri is outside of Columbia. How about that? Everything I like about Missouri is outside that college town. St. Louis, Silver Dollar City. I mean, how can you not, right? Branson's awesome. Got a DM. Ty, looks like your notifications went out. Yeah, thank God, right? Thank God. Remember to like, share, subscribe if you guys haven't already, by the way, for anyone who's new here. Yeah, T-Dub seems to think J-Cat's coming back. I don't know. That'd be a huge bonus, right? But we still got to figure out what's going on with the rest of this coaching staff. Is Kendall Briles coming back? Is Barry Odom? I have such a hard time seeing Barry Odom being shown the door. I'm having a hard time seeing that. We know him and Sam Pittman are pals, and the second half of the season so far defensively, not all the time, not super consistently, but they've been better on defense. Obviously the move of, Dwight McLaughlin has been mostly really solid, right? The move of Hudson Clark to middle safety, and of course Quincy McAdoo over to the other corner spot has worked out really well. Ty, definitely want to hear your take on the basketball game. Yeah, so we're kind of divvying up who's doing what basketball content. I don't know what that's going to look like for basketball. It's right now. It's kind of we're still trying to work out some things, get some stuff figured out. I've been doing some of the pre-games. I was unable to do the pre-game the night of San Diego State. Yeah, I thought it was a great game. I mean, obviously, I thought it was a fantastic game. I thought some of the shot selection was bizarre, but I think a lot of that was what the Aztecs were doing defensively. I thought it was a great game. Arkansas found a way. It's so nice to have somebody like Kamani Johnson just come in and show the other bigs like what it means to put this team on your shoulders and to play big down in the paint. Kamani Johnson was, oh my gosh, like it's such a big deal getting him back. I wanted him back. You know, we're still trying to figure out what this 8 to 9 man rotation is going to look like. You cannot tell me that a guy who finally got to play in Maui, who came in and completely changed, how the Aztecs approach things on the offensive end of the floor simply because of his play and the way, how big of an impact he had on that game. You cannot tell me he's not at least in the conversation to be a part of that 8-man rotation. I know it's tricky. The bench is loaded. Your starting 5 is loaded. We're still waiting on Nicky. Still waiting on Nicky Smith. I guess his dad, and don't quote me on this, but I guess his dad posted the fingers crossed emoji or something somewhere. Someone texted me, didn't send me any picture, but they just said Nick Smith's dad posted an emoji with fingers crossed or something. I don't know. If anybody could find that and tell us whether or not it's legit, and then maybe share it in Discord, that'd be great. But possibility, is it possible that he's going to be suiting up for the next time the Razorbacks are on the floor? God, like you want him on the floor as soon as possible, just so it helps them figure out that rotation sooner than later and to get that chemistry going. There's one thing about practicing against one another versus and finding chemistry when you're practicing one another, but finding chemistry against 5 different guys on the floor, right? A different team on the floor. There's one thing to be said entirely, right? Mason Culver, what's up, man? How you doing? Sup, Ty? Going to my first Razorback game. I live in Missouri, so I'm like a kid in a candy store. Congrats, man. I've heard that stadium sucks. I'm sorry you got to watch your first Hog game in that stadium, but I'm glad you get to go. Missouri fans are already miserable, so they're probably going to be, they're probably going to be wonderful to be around. Baylor up 9-7 on Texas, just completed a 12-yard punt. Just completed a 12-yard punt? Appreciate the update, Mike. Not meaning Cat in this game. Yeah, Cat won't be, yeah. Let's see if I can scroll down here, read your chat here. Yo, what it be, Thomas Dunley? How you doing, man? Again, for anyone coming in late, I apologize. My throat's been tightening up. I'm not going to lie. It kind of hurts to talk a little bit. It's going to make today interesting because I got to do this, And then I got to do a post game with Otis and Dudley, and then I got to do a call-in show. So you guys are going to have to carry me today. I'm not going to lie. I feel fine. I just my throat. It's hard to talk. And when I get going, I feel like I got to stop and cough really hard. Going to be watching the Hogs from a Team USA watch party. Oh, okay. That's cool. Congrats, Ryan Jones. I'm afraid Pittman will ride or die with Odom. It's like when you get Odom at his best, you get the 3 quarters versus Ole Miss. When you get Barry Odom at his best, they are a more than capable defense on the field. The problem has been we haven't gotten his best week in and week out. Now, we could talk about whose fault that is. We could talk about the injuries early on in the year. We could talk about the just, maybe not adapting well to the transfer portal, and it's new to everybody. I got news for you. That excuse doesn't hold a lot of weight. Doesn't hold a lot of weight. Doesn't hold a lot of credibility because everyone's got to deal with the portal. And listen, they killed it with Drew Sanders and Dwight McGlothern and Jordan Dominic. I think those guys were great. I think those are great additions. But yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know. I mean, we're going into year 4 next year. I mean, is it time to maybe think about beyond Barry Odom and Kendall Briles? Is it time to think beyond that? I honestly have not been on either bandwagon of firing or hiring or keeping these guys. I'm kind of just going to let the situation play itself out. At times, Kendall Briles' offense, I mean, look, man, you look at the turnaround they had on third down completion percentage or third down conversion percentage or whatever the actual way to put that is. They were better on third down this year than they have been in a really long time. They were like top 15 in the country, top 20 in the country most of the year, right? Yards per game. They were a top 15, top 20 offense in yards per game. But the stats that matter a lot, like first quarter scoring, they're one of the worst in the SEC at scoring in the first quarter. The slow starts, I'm pretty sure it's been that way since he's been here. The slow starts have just been abysmal. Now, again, you fast forward to last week, that wasn't the case. They got off to a quick start. And then everyone was like, all right, we're good. We're good. We don't have to play. We'll just play prevent defense and be absolutely fine. And Ole Miss was able to rack up a ass ton of yards. But and that's not on Kendall. That's obviously defense. But I don't know. I'm not on either. You need to fire these guys. They need to, I don't know. I have a hard time. I have a hard time with defending the two of them. Like the stats that matter, right? Okay, we talked about first quarter slow starts. Well, what about red zone offense? Guys, they're in the 80s, 90s, 100s all year in terms of rank. Like conversion, red zone scoring offense. Those are the stats that matter the most. Those matter more than anything. How often are you scoring on offense and how effective are you in the red zone? And not just field goals. Been plenty of teams that love to, that's something too. Like plenty of teams could talk about, well, we're scoring, but it's field goal. Look, that's one thing. But scoring 6 points in the red zone. And you can also say, well, all right, but we've had some outside the red zone scores. Fine. But again, how often have they failed and struggled in the red zone? How much of that comes down to execution on the field? How much of that comes down to Sam Pittman vetoing Kendall Briles? How much of it comes down to Kendall Briles' play calling? Is play calling selection? What's going on? Why are they so ineffective in the red zone, and why are they a 31 point per game offense? That's not progression. Like, what were they last year? Wasn't it about the same? Red zone efficiency, I think, was a little bit better. Cam Little kicked more field goals last year, I feel like, in the red zone. I could be wrong on that. It seemed like they were a little bit more effective last year in the red zone. But I don't know, man. I have a hard time looking at these numbers and then looking at the scoreboard and looking at the times they struggle to get anything going. You look at Liberty, which was really bizarre. Texas A&M, like, what is going on with this offense? It's just not consistent. It's hard for me to defend either of these coordinators. It's really hard to defend either of them. Like, if I'm trying to build a case, right, I'm a defense attorney for why we should keep Kendall Briles, man. I'm looking at this, and it's like, all right, well, total offense is great. Third down conversion percentage is great, or at least it was most of the year. But the prosecution's going to come back with, yeah, but you were the stats that matter are where you get buried. And that's the absolute truth, man. Remember to like, share, subscribe for anyone that's new here. I highly listen. We get a lot of people. In fact, the vast majority of people who watch this content non-live, like later on, are not subscribed. It's something like 50% of the audience is non-subscribers. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Make sure you're sharing the content. I appreciate Austin and John Hawes. They both they share the content regularly. Scott Swindle does as well. I see him tagging me. I appreciate that. I really do. Sup, Tygo Hogs. What's up, Rob? How you doing, man? Big winner. Okay. Tonight, 8 p.m. is the cutoff for the – and what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do Amazon gift cards because those are the only ones I could figure out how to do. I've never done a giveaway. I've never done anything like this before. I've never done a digital gift card. So I'm going to do those on Amazon. Tonight at 8 p.m., the cutoff it's at 8 p.m. Plenty of opportunities. We're right now on triple XP bonus in Discord. I think that's what Mike, our administrator, has it at right now. I believe it's triple. If not, it's at least double. So the more active you are in there today, the more XP you're going to get. And it's quite a bit. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity. We had a massive XP Wheel of Destiny XP giveaway the other night. So there was quite a bit of movement in the top 10. Some people dropped out. Will Watkins dropped out of our top 10. There's some other folks. We had some people move up. So congrats to them. If you're not in our Discord, you need to get in there. We're having a lot of fun with it. There's Haas with the look at Haas. Haas is just killing it with the links. I appreciate that, man. If we win today, is there any path to the Gator Bowl, or is that path already closed? I'll be real honest with you. I've kind of played that by ear in terms of how I'm going to approach the bowl. I'm really not going to talk about bowls yet until after this Mizzou game. I don't know. I think they could win 7 and somehow still get a Texas Bowl invite. We know that's typically a 6-6 bowl. I don't know. It could be Liberty, could be Music City, could be Vegas. I'm not really sure. I think Vegas is well, it used to be 7-win SEC team, I believe. I really don't know. Gator Bowl, I think you would absolutely have to end up with 7 wins. I'm not sure. I kind of feel like that's another place where year by year they kind of make it up as they go. I mean, yeah, Vegas I think Vegas is still in the picture. I'm kind of like a lot of other people. I think Otis Kirk said the same thing. Like, I'd rather that be a closer bowl game. Would love that to be, maybe one of those bowls over in Tennessee. I'd be fine with that. I'm just happy to be in a bowl game. It's huge. I agree. I'm praying for the Gator Bowl, but it only seems feasible if South Carolina loses to Clemson tomorrow. Well, I mean, that's actually a pretty good shot they lose, right? I mean, Tony, it sounds to me like the Gator Bowl might very well be in the picture. We got a super chat. There we go. $5 super chat. Hogs by 13, says Mr. T-Dub. I did pick Mizzou, all right? The secret's out of the bag. These Hogville picks, they're coming out on Thursdays or Fridays before I go live, so my Friday picks are kind of revealed beforehand, but that's all right. Otis has got to get those articles published. He's got a job to do. I did pick Missouri. I'm going to be real honest with you. I flipped a coin. Heads Arkansas, tails Mizzou. The reason why, if you want to talk about the scales and how they tip, right? One of the things that really concerned me is Arkansas's inability to win at that place. Now, we said the same thing about last year. It was beating the Aggies, right? Down at in the house that Jones built. Sam got us past that. It's beating Auburn, right? It's beating LSU. It's these things that Arkansas has struggled at doing lately. They did it. Sam has done it. You look at the trophy wars. He went 3 for 3 last year. He won all the trophies. If there's anyone who can break that, it is Sam Pittman winning at Mizzou. I'm just a little bit concerned. I think, too, when the Slusher rumors – I didn't even know about Slusher, honestly, when I made that pick. But it had kind of been hinted to me that there's Friday, it's looking like there's going to be someone or people not traveling. I think there could be another one. There's a possibility it's not just Slusher. It could be another player. I'm not saying it's a starter. I'm not saying and I think who I was being hinted to was actually Jalen St. John. If you guys haven't heard, he had a warrant out for his arrest, and he's been suspended indefinitely. So I think that's who that individual was talking about, because this was days before I made my picks, and this was like Monday, I think, maybe Tuesday. But it was right around the time that story broke about Jalen St. John, and it was shortly before, actually. So I think that's who they were referring to was Slusher and Jalen St. John. I don't know. We'll find out today. And I also had this feeling, kind of like, there is more going on than we realize. I'm not saying that a whole bunch of people have already hit the portal, but I'm starting to wonder if guys who maybe weren't in the rotation or barely were in the rotation on either side of the ball may not travel, or maybe they'll travel but they won't get to play at all, something like that. I'm just feeling that. I'm not saying that I've been told that. It's just a gut feeling I have. I kind of feel like we're going to find out tonight when Pittman, or later today when Pittman talks to the media, oh, yeah, so-and-so didn't play or travel. Or we're going to find out when the media starts reporting, oh, well, so-and-so isn't with the team, or we don't see him on the sidelines. I feel like that's going to be today. I feel like that's going to happen. And that, how big of an impact will that have? But I've kind of had that feeling all week, and that was part of the reason why it kind of went into my thinking. Also, the fact that Mizzou has just had Arkansas's number. Yeah, Arkansas is a better team this year. I'll tell you that all day long. I think neutral side at home, Arkansas, even playing half to their level, they're a better football team than Mizzou is. Their run defense, it's one of the biggest defensive lines Arkansas has played this year. They're only giving up about 125 yards a game on the ground. They actually kind of match up against the Hogs really well. And the most, to me, what really gave them to make this a coin flip, where I had Arkansas here and I had Mizzou down here. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it's the fact that they're a 5-win team playing for a bowl game. That's what happened. All of a sudden now I'm like, all right, this feels like a coin flip. Mizzou fans are not the most diehard fans. I still wonder just how the hell they're in this conference, if I'm being real honest. I know their basketball team's off to a hot start, but I'm not sure that they've beaten anybody of high quality, but congrats. You finally might be putting together a pretty good basketball team this year. Time will tell. But your football program, your fans are not the most diehard, but who knows? They do take, and this is the other thing too, they take this game way more seriously than Hog fans do. They just do. They just do. Tell me I'm wrong. They just do. Mizzou takes this game serious. Their fans, Drinkowitz, their staff, they've got they've got people from Arkansas like Drinkowitz. To them, this game is more important than it is to Arkansas. Arkansas got their bowl game. Sam says, well, we're playing for 7 wins. I mean, okay, maybe that's enough to light the fire under their asses. I don't know. But Mizzou, it's like we're fighting to keep our season going. And that, to me, is why this became a coin flip. I think Arkansas on the field, better product, wildly inconsistent. Now, again, if the defense and the offense from the last 3 weeks or from the last 3 quarters of that game last week against Ole Miss show up, it's going to be a curb stomping. I'd take Arkansas plus 15, 16 points. But I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know yet. Let's and this is why it's a coin flip. And I flipped the coin and it landed tails. I said, all right, I guess I got to go with Mizzou. I almost called Otis and said, all right, let's change that back to Arkansas, because I lean Arkansas, but the coin flip determined for me anyways, who the winner was going to be. It was tough. Let's see here. Haas says Hornsby, Kari Johnson, Jaden Johnson, Slusher, Brown are the names I've been given. Chavis possible too. They're going to build a portal team from scratch. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those are guesses, but they're very accurate guesses. because I kind of think some of those names are going to be in the portal as well. Is it true, Leon Hayes wants to know, is it true that Slusher has left the team? If so, why? Now, I don't know if this had something to do with his game suspension. I don't know. Here's the picture. Let me flip this bad boy around here for you. Here's the picture. This is him last night in Tulsa. I used to be rocking Abercrombie. What's wrong with Abercrombie, man? I love Abercrombie back when I wasn't fat and I could actually fit in their clothes. That's him in Tulsa. This is the thing that everyone, Pinto put it up on Twitter. He was in Tulsa last night. Yeah, my guess is he's not on the team. And that is a blow. I'm sorry, that is a blow. I still lean towards Arkansas in this game, but this is why. This is what I'm looking at. I mean, I hope I'm this is where all this is coming from with the Slusher stuff. I still feel pretty good about Arkansas winning this game, but at the same time, you just never know, man. You just never know. That young man is cooked. Buddy up on that. The most comparable offenses Mizzou or Missouri has played this year are Kansas State and Tennessee, and those two teams ran all over Missouri. I think we'll be fine. Another 100-plus game for Rocket. Yeah, Rocket needs 97 yards to be the SEC's leading rusher? Is that accurate? Because that's at least until Saturday. You still have teams that play Saturday. Is there any running backs that are on his heels? I do not see anything on Myles Slusher leaving the team. Maybe this is something Pittman said. It could be. Again, I don't know. This could be another suspension deal. I don't know. All I've ever heard is he loved being a hog. But, I mean, I think that's just assumed. What about the rumor Jacoby Criswell wanting to come home? I had heard he followed some people on Twitter, and people seem to think there's something to that. He followed some Arkansas people. I don't know. If KJ goes, and one's got to expect Malik Hornsby's going to be in the portal one way or another. One has to expect that, right? That Malik Hornsby is either one way or another, he's not coming back. That's the expectation. Unless they sell to him, you need to practice in the offseason as a wide receiver. That's where your future is, and if he buys that. That's the only way I see him coming back. And I don't know. I don't see that. Concussion protocol on Slush. It could be. I don't know. Again, I have no idea. I didn't know anything about him getting – I don't think he – as far as I know, he didn't sustain a concussion. I think Slush might need an attitude adjustment. I don't know, man. I mean, any more on St. John? Not at the moment. Just these suspended indefinitely. Go Rockets, says Brian Hood. Yeah, man. Yeah, buddy. You still got games to play tomorrow. I don't know if anybody's on his heels. I haven't actually looked at SEC. Let's take a look while we're here. Let's see. Rushing yards. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, he's safe. If he gets it today, he's good. For some reason, I thought Tank had over 1,000. I thought Tank had more yards than that. So, Quinshon Judkins, a freshman, by the way, 1,476 yards. He also had a lot of attempts, 251 attempts on the year. His longest run from the line of scrimmage is 61 yards. He does have 16 rushing touchdowns. Guys, he's going to go down as one of the greatest. He's got to go down as one of the greatest freshman running backs in SEC history. How many SEC running backs as true freshmen came in almost 1,500 yards? I think total offense, he did eclipse 1,500 total yards. He had 1,476 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. That's insane. For a true freshman, that's insane. He averaged 5.88 yards a carry. Raheem Sanders, our guy, 1,379 yards, 209 attempts versus his 251. He's averaging 6.6 yards a carry. He's had one of the longest runs from the line of scrimmage this year outside of Anthony Richardson, the Florida Gator quarterback, who had an 81-yarder and the running back. Trevor 18 had an 85-yarder. Chase McClellan had an 81. So he's in the top. Okay, I thought you're looking. I'm scrolling down here, and it's like he's in the top 5, the longest runs from the line of scrimmage at 76, top 5, top 6. But only 10 rushing touchdowns. He has a receiving touchdown, does he not? Did he not score off like a check down throw or something from KJ? I thought he did. I could be wrong. I could probably just pull up ESPN and look at it. Yeah. Gone to do something if Drew comes back another year. I don't see Sanders coming back, Aaron. If you're talking about Drew Sanders, which I'm sure you are, no, I have such a hard time seeing that dude come back. I mean, he is a legit contender to be a first-round draft prospect. Keep an eye on him today, too. Sorry. Throat just keeps going in and out. Got to go. Thanks for the show. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you. Make sure you slap the like button on your way out, my guy. What's up with Torrin Carter? Kelly, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to – they kept – earlier in the year, Sam was telling us that we could see him in the last 2 or 3 games of the year. They're going to hang on. They're going to try and get that medical red shirt. So he'd be what? He'd be like a 5th-year junior next year. John Ridgway, the like button. Ridgway, suplex the like button, baby. Oh, my gosh. Say a prayer for your boy. I got 2 more shows to do today. I need a lozenge. Help me out. Yeah, if you want to join Patreon, that'd be awesome. Get a sticker. If you DM me if you give me a DM, I'll send you a sticker. Tuss Talk with Ty logo sticker. We need another Ridgeway. Boy, he had a big impact later in the year, didn't he? Hit the vitamins. It's the throat, man. It's like, feels like there's something wrapped around my damn throat. Tell you need some whiskey, brother. Let me tell you something. That call-in show, I might get hammered. We don't have our kids tonight. Our kids are gonna go stay with the in-laws. As soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna leave here at about 1:30. Take them out to Tawnytown. Go drop them off at the in-laws. Shout out to my in-laws, Dina and Tom. I know my father-in-law watches this show from time to time. Shout out to Tom. Appreciate you, man. I'm probably going to get a little after the Hogville. After Hogville, I might start slamming some brews or something. I don't know. You need a hottie toddy. I'm drinking rum and smoking during the game. I'm jealous, Aaron. I'm going to have to go back to the cigar store, man. Grab me some whiskey at the Fiesta Liquor in Springdale. Go get me a cigar. Go get me another big fat cigar. Hit the NyQuil tonight. That's going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. The NyQuil's going down tonight. You can't drink NyQuil while you're hammered, right? You're not supposed to. I know purple drink is like, it's like NyQuil, right? I wouldn't do that. I would make sure I'm sober before I hit any NyQuil. Licorice tea, bro. Taking care of my laryngitis. Oh, man. I'm assuming they sell that at like Walmart, or do I got to go to one of those like Fayetteville natural shit stores? Is it not NyQuil? I don't know what they put in that purple drink, man. I know that was really popular when I was in high school. When I was several years outside of high school. Did they ever catch the fan who stole? I don't know if they did, Aaron. That's a really good question. I don't know, and I'm no narc. I'm not going to share that dude's picture, but that was stupid as hell. Throat coat at Walmart. Is that a thing? Purple drink is codeine. Okay, codeine, cough syrup, and some Sprite. Yeah, I knew it was Sprite and something. I thought it was NyQuil or something. My wife hit the NyQuil and alcohol. She started sleepwalking. Oh, man. It's all over TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, man. My wife sends me 15 TikToks a day. USA's beating England, says G-Rec. Hey, all right, go America. I don't really give two shits about soccer, but I will root on USA and Razorback soccer. I will root them on. Drop a couple Jolly Ranchers in there. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Josh Garr writes straight facts. Oh, shit. Y'all are cracking me up. Yeah. So, Arkansas, Missouri, you guys, if you haven't already, drop your scores in Discord or in live chat. Arkansas is favored at 55.8% over Mizzou. Mizzou 5-6, 2-5 in conference play. Arkansas is trying to go 500 in conference play. If they can finish 4-4 in conference play, you got to be okay with that, right? 7-5. I went down to 8-4 on my pick, and some of you did not like that. And here we are. Like, they really could have 7 wins this year, and then maybe they pick up their 8th win in a bowl game. But here we are. But I was wrong on my regular season prediction. I thought they'd end up with 8-4. I thought their floor was 6. I think I said 6-6. I don't know. Go back and watch. I don't remember what the hell I said. And I thought their ceiling, if they played, I'll tell you again, those 3 quarters against Ole Miss is kind of how I expected to see Arkansas play. Maybe not quite to that caliber every single week, but close to it. And maybe 10 wins could be in their 10 wins could have been in their future at the time. I really thought that could be the case. Again, KJ coming back, both your coordinators back. There's big-time former 5-star prospects out of high school transferring in from Oklahoma and Alabama and who you picked up from LSU and Georgia, out of the portal. Some of the freshmen. Kind of thought we would see a little bit more Centennial this year than we did. I'm hoping tonight we see him. We know that Warren Thompson's no longer on the team. Warren Thompson is no longer on the team. And maybe we'll see him creep up more. Now, Warren was kind of moving down the roster or down the depth chart anyways. Mizzou, again, when you look at their numbers, they're giving up 338 yards a game. That is really good. In this day and age, back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, this would have been like, now this is pretty damn good. In this day and age of just how much better offenses are, how the game is geared more when you're talking about officiating, how the offense is just, offenses have taken off. And again, the game is just geared more towards offense, more points, a more exciting product on the field for the game of the NFL and college. And you're seeing it in the high school ranks too. Teams are scoring more. The offenses are more dynamic. They're more complicated than they've ever been. It's rare to see anybody huddle anymore. The game has just changed. So only giving up 338 yards a game is absolutely astounding. For Mizzou in this conference, considering they got to play Tennessee, and I know, Tennessee did a number on them, but Georgia snuck out of that stadium. They snuck out of Memorial Foret, however you pronounce that, Moritz Stadium, Foret Field in Columbia, Missouri. They snuck out of there with a win. They will play you tough, and if I feel like they're going to give Arkansas their best. And meanwhile, Arkansas is giving up 451. That's more than 100 yards per game than Missouri. They're giving up 276 through the air, Arkansas is. Missouri's only giving up 209. Again, that's pretty impressive. 128 allowed for Missouri on the ground. That's all they give up, 128 yards a game on the ground. Their offense has been not good. Not very good. But I would lean towards Arkansas, even though I picked Missouri. So I'll just leave it at that as far as my predictions. I lean Arkansas, but I picked Missouri. I know that's like a fail-safe, right? That was my official pick. I got to stand by it. I have to stand by. I picked Mizzou. That was the coin flip. I got to stand by it. At the time, I probably still leaned Arkansas, and I still did the coin flip. Probably should just picked Arkansas, but I will stick with the Mizzou pick. I'll stick with it. Mizzou Probably something like 28-24 or something. I don't know. But this is a tough one, man. This is a tough game. They only scored 25 points a game. Arkansas's dead even at 31.0 according to ESPN. But yeah. Yeah, they run. They're pretty effective at running. They're getting, they're no Ole Miss or Arkansas when it comes to the ground game, but they are rushing the ball for 152 yards. And they're passing as much as they are giving up passing. They're throwing the ball for 209. That's what they give up, right? They're doing the exact same thing. Arkansas throwing the ball for 232 yards a game. This is a very interesting matchup. It kind of feels like Arkansas, the offensive, when you're talking about yards per game, you're looking at the Razorbacks in that category as the offense in this matchup. And Missouri's the defense, right? That's what these two teams are kind of known for, what they're able to do. How many players are we missing from today's game? I don't know the official number yet, Ash. Like I said earlier, I feel like we're going to find out more. We're going to get more as the game goes on. People are going to tweet out, well, so-and-so's on the sidelines, and we're going to find out more probably either after the game or the next time Sam talks with the media, which I think will be Monday. Next week is going to be wild. And I'm going to tell you guys, I do feel like there's going to be some I feel like, again, I'm not hearing this. I feel like, and like Otis said, next week is going to be wild. You're going to have some Razorbacks hit that portal that you probably don't expect. We're going to panic, and then we're going to wait a second, and then we're going to see what they do in the portal, right? And don't forget, this incoming recruiting class is pretty solid. It's a top 30, top 25 caliber recruiting class. I know in the SEC that's not saying much, but they have still managed. I mean, last year they won 9 games. This year they could win up to 8. So they're doing a little bit of damage, and we can argue they should have beaten A&M, right? Shouldn't have lost to Liberty. It's still just a head scratcher. I think that's probably more of a head scratcher than the Toledo loss under Bielema. But I wouldn't panic. Let's wait and see what Arkansas does in the portal. They ended up out of the portal. They did a really damn good job this year or last year. Just can't say enough. Jaden Hazelwood had a huge impact on this offense, right? Drew Sanders might be a first-round draft prospect. Nudie has been great. Latavius Brinney has been present. He's not been a game changer, but he's made some pretty nice plays, open field tackles and whatnot. I think he has at least a couple pass deflections and so on. Jordan Dominic quietly had a good season. I think Jackson, we're still kind of waiting. I kind of had a feeling, and we saw him a little bit this year. I think he's got a high ceiling. I think we're going to have to be patient with him, the LSU defensive end transfer, who was a sophomore this year. But those other guys we're mentioning are juniors and seniors. He was only a sophomore and didn't see a lot of time at LSU last year. So that's something to consider. Give him time to grow. I know there's others. I think I mentioned the ones that had the biggest impact, but I think they did a pretty good job, and I feel like depending on what happens with the staff, what happens with the coordinators, I think they could do as well as they did last year, maybe better. Of course, we won't know until we actually see the product on the field. We won't know until next year when we kick off for the season, right? We won't know. It's hard to say. Who would have thought Drew Sanders would have – I said he would have a huge year. You guys go back to when they picked him up. I said this cat is going to be huge in this defense, and he has. I didn't expect him to be in the conversation as a first-round draft prospect. I never said that. I never thought he'd be that level of great. He has been phenomenal. The impact that dude he's got to be one of the most impactful defensive transfers in all of college football. Mel Kiper's had that guy everywhere in his top 15. Top 20, somewhere in there. It's been pretty fantastic. Dwight McLaughlin has been sturdy. He was tied for the lead in interceptions for like the first, 6 weeks or something. He had 3 picks. But he had an impact. He's definitely had an impact. And then you look at the freshmen. You look at some of the, Quincy McAdoo has had an impact in the secondary. Is there going to be someone out of this next class? Hopefully they don't figure it out towards the end of the season where someone needs to go, right? But maybe there's someone in this next class that has a really big impact one way or another. I hope Poole plays today. Don't expect him to play. Don't expect him to be back. I think he's probably done. I could be wrong, but I heard Poole might be out today, but Pooh Paul can fit the bill. Pooh Paul's been outstanding. I mean, early on in the year, what little time he was given on the defense, he took full advantage. Pooh Paul and Otis Kirk and I saw this. Dudley Dawson and I saw this. He was explosive in fall camp. Him and Drew Sanders both, I just couldn't believe, wow. Pooh Paul, I think, has a future in the league for sure. I don't know about Bumper. I have no idea. We'll have to wait and find out. I mean, would it shock me if he got drafted in like the first 5 rounds, maybe round 4 or 5? No, it wouldn't shock me. I don't know that, we'll have to wait and see what he does in terms of making a team. But who are going to be some star next year? Are you asking who's going to be a star next year or who's going to be a starter? Michael Wilmot's got the Hogs, 31-21. Yeah, the portal's going to be wild. You look at Auburn, what's going on there with Harsin getting terminated. Does Lane Kiffin leave? What does that do for Ole Miss in the portal? A&M in the portal? It's going to be wild. So I wouldn't freak out. I know there's going to be some. There's probably going to be a couple where I'm just like, what? I'll be right there with you. But we'll all have to just realize, look, I have faith. I mean, they managed to get Felipe Franks here, and you saw that without Felipe Franks year one, you don't have the product that you had at all. Even though it wasn't a great product, think about what Felipe Franks, the impact that he had, moving forward. But he also had an impact on the field too in some games. And again, last year, we already went over what all the transfers did a year ago. I wouldn't panic too much, but who's Auburn's head coach? I have no idea. I'm not buying that it's Lane. I'm just not. It feels like Lincoln Riley to LSU rhetoric. It really does. You remember that's all we heard. Lincoln Riley to LSU. That was like, it was summed up. It's going to happen. LSU fans were really excited. And it didn't happen. It kind of feels like that. It feels like Lincoln Riley. It ends up being fake news. Although he did end up going to USC. What have you heard about Malachi Singleton flipping? Otis told me about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, that there was nothing to it. That UCF was hot on his heels, but that he was still all hog. So as of right now, I expect him to sign in December. We got to remember these are 17, 18-year-old kids. It's hard to know for sure. But everything I've heard, he's all hog. And some of it may depend on KJ. It could. If KJ decides to come back, that might have an impact. But KJ may wait to announce that, right? Whenever that window is. Yeah, I already talked about Jacoby Criswell earlier. I think there is a possibility that he could come home. I heard he's following a bunch of Hog fans on Twitter, but, that oftentimes doesn't mean anything. He could come home. Jacoby Criswell could come back. I've not heard anything. I've not heard anything about him talking to anybody in the media or anything like that. So as of right now, maybe Criswell does. We know that he got passed up for a freshman this year. So yeah, you could see Criswell. And I would argue if you gave me a list of names of most likely quarterbacks to come play at Arkansas through the portal, Criswell would probably be at the top of that list. But it doesn't mean much. He'd be a solid QB2. I think so. So, Hudson Card that almost came to Arkansas was just taken off the field on a cart. Oh, no. Hope he's okay. You hate to hear that. Yeah, I remember Hudson Card. That's too bad. All right, we're gonna stop here. I will do again Hogville post game with Otis Kirk and Dudley Dawson. Then we will have a call-in show, assuming I still have a voice. I do appreciate the super chats. I appreciate you guys being here, liking and sharing the content. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to have to stick with that Mizzou pick. Confidence level low, really low, like a 0.5 low on a scale of 1 to 10. But I flipped a coin, and that's what the coin said, and I got to stick with it, right? But if Arkansas brings the A game, and if Mizzou brings the A game, I would still take Arkansas to win that game. But if Arkansas can't afford to bring a C- game today, right? They need to bring it. Got to take this serious. So, yeah, Hudson Card was a Arkansas did offer him, and I remember that being a someone really thinking that there was a shot there, but I never bought into it. But yeah, he is a quarterback, not an offensive lineman. Haven't seen his numbers yet this year though. I hope you're wrong, Ty. Well, I do too. I hope the quarter was wrong. But yeah. All right. I will see you guys tonight one way or another at one of the postgame shows. If you want to call in, the link will be provided for you guys in chat. T-Dub has called in. Several of you have called. John Hawes has called in. We've had a number of people of you that are in here now live that have been on the call-in show. So hopefully you guys will want to call in, have plenty to say. We got a lot to talk about for sure. All right, Woo Pig, and I'll see you guys after the game. Go Hogs. I need a lozenge. Stat.